Thanks, Jordan. Welcome, everyone. Good afternoon. Thank you for joining me on this wonderful Zoom call. As I pull my presentation and share my screen with you, I'm going to give you a little bit more background just about myself. Like Jordan said, my name is Sydney Winders. I am the current president-elect of the region, so I will be president as of, I guess, tonight or tomorrow. In addition to all the great work that I've learned through regional service and then at Drury, I really based a lot of my focus in my undergrad on advocating. Last year, I did my junior thesis on advocating for students at last regional conference, and it really struck a chord in me to just kind of self-evaluate and kind of figure out, okay, what are my insecurities as a student? And more importantly, what are they? How can I make them different? And then why are they there? And as maybe cheesy as our slogan for conferences, it's truly true. I am someone who believes in a holistic approach to pretty much everything. And so I definitely believe that students have the capability to overcome whatever they need to with just some simple identification. So I'm going to pull up this. Can you guys see that? Awesome. Beautiful. So wait one second. Make that small. And then over there. Awesome. Cool. Beautiful. So my presentation is entitled Cultivating Confidence, Addressing Imposter Syndrome in Students. And you'll see that's a very current trend, at least for my focus, because I am a student. Everything that I'm going to talk today is research done by a student for students. I think there's a different perspective when we're talking about education, when we're talking about someone who's an individual who is currently working on their music therapy education. Not that the professional opinion is honestly much different or not as valid, but we're students here and we want to validate that experience. So just starting off, if we could unshare my screen. Awesome, cool. So if you guys attended a national conference last year or November, beautiful student presentation, Kat Fulton literally broke all my barriers, and she did a chant before she started her her presentation. And if you know me in person, you know that I love to chant. For my 22nd birthday, instead of going out and getting trashed, I had a chant circle at Drury University on their campus. So I want to start out with something that came to me, just the biggest thing that happened to me, the biggest probably trial in my undergrad that had to do with self-confidence was my senior recital. At Drury University, it's not required that you do a senior recital, but by George, I was Sydney Winders and I was going to do one. And so I scheduled my senior recital 2 days after my 22nd birthday because I was like, wow, it's just going to be a whole weekend of stress and anxiety. And I had my chant circle. It was Friday night, just to set the scene. All my friends and I were in a cute little circle, all music therapy majors or like partners of music therapy majors. It was just a big, great place. And so I was thinking, and I was in the moment, being mindful, right? And so this melody kind of came to me, and this is the first chant that I think I came up with on my own. I'm a big chant circle singing lady, and so I had, of course, like we all should, listened to much reference from the Daughters of Harriet, and I kind of did my research about where chants came from, so I can be very respectful in delivering those. I've looked at research and how they are applicable to music therapy, but truthfully, I'm just a person that wants to sing pretty much all the time. And so this chant, I'm going to teach one person. If you will volunteer by putting a little something on your screen, a little emoji. All good shows need one volunteer, so I need just one person to volunteer. Beautiful. Jordan Marshall. Go ahead and unmute your screen, and then everyone who is currently, keep yourself muted, although you must sing along. And then if you're currently if you're not using your video right now, I'd like to watch you at least kind of sing. So the way that chants work, just kind of a brief thing, is I will go ahead and teach this chant to Jordan. And so you're going to sing along with her as if you are her. So I'm going to give her the chant. She's going to sing it back to me. And then in a couple seconds into the chant, I'm going to mute her, and then we're all going to sing with me. Again, this is a chant that I kind of came up with on the spot, And this was everything that served me in the moment. And this is something that I literally sang moments before I hit the unmute button here. So go ahead, Jordan. I'm going to sing it a couple of times, and then you'll repeat after me once I point at you, okay? So the chant goes like this. I am strong. I am capable. I can win if I can find my way. First part, I am strong.
I am strong.
I am capable.
I am capable.
Beautiful. Now, no one's moving their mouth with Jordan. So that means you have to sing with Jordan. I know I can't hear you, but this is fun, right? So, I am strong. I am capable.
I am strong. I am capable.
Beautiful. I can win.
I can win.
If I can find my way.
If I can find my way.
Awesome, the whole thing. I am strong. I am capable. I can win if I can find my way.
I am strong. I am capable. I can win and I can find my way.
Beautiful. Go ahead and sing. I am strong. I am capable. I can win if I can find my way. You are strong. You are capable. You can win if you can find your way. We are strong. We are capable. We can win if we can find our way. Students are strong. Students are capable. Students can win if students can find our way. Back to I am strong. I am capable. I can win if I can find my way. Last time. I am strong. I am capable. I can win if I can find my way. Beautiful. Oh, I love it so much. Awesome. So yes, take that chant. I hope it's an earworm by now, and go ahead and sing that whenever you want to. Don't give me credit, just boost yourself up with that one. So now I'm going to share my screen again and then get to the actual presentation. But you are strong. And so first of all, in this, let me press play, right? Beautiful. You are strong. Awesome. Just a little overview of my presentation. Talking about imposter syndrome, we're going to first look at the origins of the phenomenon, specifically talk about how it affects students, and then I'm going to give you some solutions on how to combat that phenomenon and that mindset of thinking. Beautiful. So just when I was first looking into imposter syndrome, I thought to evaluate a couple of the themes that really came up in that research, specifically self-confidence and success. To me in my research, that seemed like there was a common theme there, and it seemed like most of the time when an imposter was having a problem, and yes, we will talk about the definition of imposter syndrome, but when you're having a problem with self-confidence, it's most likely tied to self-confidence or then success as well. So I found that self-confidence is a motivational tool utilized when individuals are faced with a challenge. Yes, we know that, but that tool comes from the individual perspective, meaning that you have an idea of what your abilities are, you have an idea of what your capabilities are, and sometimes that might be a little bit different than what you can actually do, right? Sometimes you kind of just need to hop in and say, okay, man, I can convince myself to be confident, I can fake it till I make it, and sometimes that isn't processed very well. It seemed to me like the links in self-confidence that I found while doing my research was linked to performance, it was linked to motivation, linked to internal esteem, and then overall a link to self-worth. Success measured in a lot of the research, to me, what I draw from that was that it was intangible, it was ambiguous, it was that individual perspective again, right? You think that success is this way. Man, I'm going to be so dang successful when I get my first music therapy job, right? Well, for me as a senior, hopefully that's only in a year and a couple months, right? And so I'm pretty great as I am now, but I can't really guarantee that I'll be that much cooler in a year. I saw links in that, which was measured specifically for success, was, oh, personal growth. Well, when I get my first job, man, I'll know how to play everything and all of the keys. I'll know all that good stuff. Man, financial wealth. I'll be making the big bucks as a first year music therapist. Career development, maybe something like that. Lastly, the material possessions. I know that's something that, at least in my life, I have to have a certain comfort in my life, and so success for each individual is measured by those things. And because we are all fantastic, unique individuals, that amount of personal growth or financial wealth or career development is unique to us as well. And so to say that a successful individual is this, everyone might not agree with that. To say that I will have self-confidence and it looks like this is not the same across everyone's experiences. In my research, I did find a common theme as well, in all the imposter syndrome things that I came upon. Specifically linking that more often than not, successful individuals hesitate to internalize their achievements. That was a big shocker for me. We'll talk about that more later in the presentation, but individuals who have achieved success but possess low self-confidence question their abilities. This can cause internal disruption, low self-esteem, performance anxiety, and an overall feeling of fraudulence. I promise I'm not going to read all the slides of my presentation, but that is the key of this presentation. It's that we all are learners, we all are growing, and the idea of the imposter, especially the idea of the imposter as a student who is someone who is already growing and learning and succeeding and sometimes failing, right? That needs to be evaluated. Just to clarify, imposter syndrome, that definition, it's not a formal diagnosis. It's not a real diagnosis. The imposter syndrome, those two words are describing a psychological phenomenon. Unfortunately, as I was doing research, as I was trying to further describe that feeling of an imposter using describing with the word syndrome, I couldn't find much. Hopefully, as I continue my career in research and growth and development, I can perhaps describe that in a different way. But I will be talking about imposter syndrome, that phenomenon, and just to clarify, it's not a formal diagnosis at all. But it is the feeling of fraudulence when an individual doesn't recognize their success and their capability, resulting in low self-esteem. Through my research, I gathered a few articles from DeVry University, and they said that imposter syndrome is a phenomenon categorized by an inability to internalize success and achievement in individuals, including academic excellence. So the reason why I think that this conversation is super important for students is that we are sometimes 24/7 in those academic environments. And we'll talk about that more and how that affects us individually. But many times confronting this phenomenon with the struggle often results in self-doubt and the feeling of inadequacy to master whatever competency. And as we sang our first song, right? You are strong, you are capable, right? I hope that is playing through your head right now. First of all, some symptoms, right? Imposter syndrome is not a formal diagnosis. It's a psychological phenomenon. Some symptoms of that, some characteristics to identify imposter syndrome further is if you are an individual with any feeling of internal disruption that has to do with fraudulence. You might say, wow, I'm a third year at this fantastic Midwest university, and man, I'm insecure at my internship. I've passed all my proficiencies. I feel like I'm going into my classes and learning and getting A's, but man, I don't know what's going to happen. And so that's that kind of thought process as well. Maybe lower self-esteem going into a test, although you've studied your butt off in all the right ways, right? Not pulling an all-nighter and not doing things that don't kind of help your brain work. You've been studying for a week and you're like, man, geez, I don't know if I'm going to do well on this test, right? Performance anxiety. Maybe you're presenting your first intervention and you've been really drilling this hello song. Man, you could do this hello song with your eyes closed, but you still mess up on your first try, right? Why? It's not because you didn't know it. It's because you thought you didn't know it and you got nervous, right? And then finally, and it's underlined, yes, that feeling of fraudulence. And so we describe an imposter It's actually not so